Hello, everyone. Can someone let me know if you can hear me okay?
Hello.
Awesome.
Hello. I can hear you. I can hear you okay.
Thank you. All right, everyone. So we do have a large group on tonight. So just to keep the flow going, we're going to save all questions until the end. And the questions that we're going to take at the end will just be related to what we kind of went over and the logistics of Science Interactive, not anyone's personal particular lab. If you need help with your lab after we're done with this, you'll know who to reach out to, and you'll want to do that on your own and not when, you know, there's 52 people here right now. So that's kind of the plan. So at the end, we'll do a question and answer type thing. But again, it won't be question and answers about individual labs for every student. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So for those of you that don't know me, you know, you're all new. I was at one of the orientations, so I did introduce myself, but I'm Amy Dungler, and I'm the Associate Program Chair of the Pharmacy Technician Program here at Ross. Today, we're going to go over the Science Interactive portion of your program here at Ross. And all the labs that are associated with it. So we have a lot of our instructors are on the call right now. I see your instructor Missy was on. We have Deborah Golden, the program chair, on. We have Heather Holmes and Amy. Will introduce everybody in just a second. So everybody is kind of on with us. So we'll go ahead and get started. So my first slide, meet the staff. So you have two lab instructors, Amy Wells and Heather Holmes. So you'll get to know them pretty well. They will be here with you throughout your entire time in the program. So then we also have a substitute lab instructor, Jamar. You might not work with him as much. He might be one of your regular instructors, but he does help fill in when Amy or Heather do need a day off. And then I have included myself just because I oversee the Science Interactive portion of the program. So that is our team, besides, of course, all our other wonderful instructors and team members as well. So in the program, there are going to be 19 proficiencies or labs that you will have to complete. So as you should know by now, you are taking 2 courses, and you will continue to take 2 courses every 5 weeks when we start a new term. Throughout the entire time of the program until you reach your externship. So I have this kind of laid out here for you. So right now you're in 401 and 402. So this is the easier one. You only have 1 lab due in each course. So we'll talk more about those, but as you can see, as we kind of progress, some of the courses have 1 lab, some have 2. And as long as you complete all of them in those courses, you will have all of them done on time for your externship. We'll talk more about that. So completing labs are a requirement for the courses and completion of the program. So we can't send you out on externship and say that you're proficient enough to be there if we have no proof of that. So this is what these labs are. We're measuring how much you're learning in the curriculum in a hands-on type format. So when I say that they are a requirement, it means if you do not complete 1 or more labs in the term, you will automatically fail the course no matter what grade you earn. So I've seen students earn a B in the course, but they didn't do the lab. So I can't give them a B. I have to enter an F for them. So that's what will happen. Of course, we have plenty of time. That's, nowhere near about to happen to any of you, because we're going to all work proactively and we won't be waiting until the end, of course, right? But that is ultimately what would happen if you didn't do a lab. So then you would have to retake the term. And when I say term, that would mean both courses again. So you can't ever just take one course. If you fail it later on, you have to take both. So that will also delay your externship and of course then your graduation from the program. Labs are worth 25% of your final grade. So quizzes are worth 30%. Labs are just below it at 25% of your final grade. So it has a very large impact on your performance. And just one thing I want to throw out there, and those of you that watch the orientation Brightspace overview video that you had in your week 1 check-in, you should know this by now, but if you don't, you do not need your lab kit for the Getting Started and Lab Safety Labs. So you can get started on the Getting Started. I know we're having some slight issues with lab safety, but we are working on getting that fixed. So hopefully tomorrow will be fixed. But you should be able to go in and do the Getting Started lab right away, and you don't need to wait for the lab kit because, in fact, you're not going to get the lab kit for a couple more weeks. So let's talk more about these lab kits. So each student will receive 1 lab kit for their use throughout the program. You will order a lab kit in week 1 in PHT 401. So you should see that assignment. It is due on today, I think. And it's worth 100 points towards your final grade in the course. So it's literally like us just giving you 100 free points for you giving us your address. And if you're wondering, you watch the video where I talked a little bit more about it, but the reason why we're asking for your address and not just taking it from your file is because we want to make sure it's being sent somewhere that you know it's going to be delivered and it can be trusted to be there. So you will be responsible for receiving that lab kit on the day it arrives to your house. So you will get tracking information sent to your Ross email address once the kit ships from Science Interactive. So I always try to send out a reminder. I have Amy or Heather do it, just letting everyone know, hey, the lab kits are starting to ship. Make sure you're checking your Ross email and making a plan for that day. So, usually it will tell you expected delivery, whatever day. If you're not planning on being home that day or something, you're making a plan for someone else to watch for it, or, something of that nature, a neighbor, whatever. You want to treat this lab kit like it's something very expensive and dear to your heart, because it is, of course. But it costs about $400. So any replacement lab kits would cost you about $400. And I know that, that is not something that anyone wants to pay. Your lab kit your first lab kit is included in your tuition, so you don't have to worry about paying anything for that. But if you needed any replacement lab kit, it would be close to that amount. It is your responsibility to maintain and keep all portions of the lab kit until you've completed all 19 labs. So don't get rid of anything. Sometimes we'll have students use the wrong thing for one lab and they think they're done with it and throw it away, but in fact it was supposed to be used for this lab. Totally okay, as long as you don't throw it away. We want to keep everything until you're all done with your labs, and then you can do with your lab kit whatever you want to do with it. And then just one thing to know, so if you do lose your lab kit, or someone throws it away or whatever could happen to it. You can't just say, well, I'm not going to get a lab kit then, because you can't complete the program. You wouldn't be able to do your labs that are required. So you really can't get away with graduating from this program or making it through without a lab kit. So just wanted to throw that out there. And Amy and Heather too, if you have anything to interject while I'm saying that I missed, feel free to jump in at any time. So I'm sure most of you have seen that on your dashboard, you have probably 4 courses. You probably still have your orientation course on your dashboard, but you will have your normal classes, your 401 and 402, and then also you'll have this online required lab section. The online required lab section is going to stay on your dashboard the whole time you're in the program. The other ones will disappear and you'll get new ones eventually when we start them. But this one is going to stay. So this is where you will click on to complete your labs. All right, so let's talk about some stuff that is related to completing the lab. So all portions of the lab must be completed to be marked as proficient and done. So the labs contain multiple choice, short answer questions, photo uploads, data tables, and I think that's it. But just a various amount of questions and then the experiment. So if you go through and click through just a multiple choice and you think to yourself, wow, that was really easy, I got that done. I guarantee you did not complete the lab. It is many parts to complete it. The getting started in lab safety is a little bit shorter, but you do still have to upload things and enter things into data tables. So we can't say you're proficient if we don't have proof. That's why we need photos for certain parts. We, would love to just take everybody's word for it. Like, oh, I did this lab. I don't have my proof. I forgot to take a picture, or I threw the picture away, delete the file, whatever. We can't say that you're proficient if we have no proof. So we really need that. And that has to be uploaded with your lab and the portions that it tells you to do that. So another thing is the evaluation has to be completed along with the lab. So there's 2 parts to the lab. So both parts need to be completed for us to say that you're done with that lab. Once you have submitted your lab, you will not be able to go back into the lab. So please make sure that you have uploaded all required photos and completed all required data tables and questions before you hit submit. So you can click back through and make sure you have everything because you won't be able to get back in. Once you have submitted the lab, it will have to be manually graded. So you're uploading photos and entering things in the data table, that all has to be manually graded. And it is being manually graded by Amy Wells, your lab instructor, and Heather Holmes, your lab instructor. So we have quite a large amount of students in the program. We have, I think, close to 500 right now. So those 2 people are grading labs for all 500 of you. So you should expect that there's going to be a 48-hour turnaround time for those to be graded. So once you complete the lab, you'll see a grade, but that grade at that point is not your actual grade for the lab because they haven't been graded yet. It's just going to be, I think it just shows you whatever you got on the multiple choice or whatever's auto graded at that point. So that's not going to be your true grade. So how do you check your grades? How do you check your lab grades in the lab course in Brightspace? Well, it's exactly like how you check your regular grades in Brightspace. However, I know you guys just started last week, so maybe you don't know how to do that. But what you're going to do first is navigate to your lab course on the Brightspace dashboard, which is where I showed you, where do you go? That's where you're going to go. And then you're going to go to the drop down box where it says My Brightspace and click on grades. So for your lab to be completely done, you can see like this right here. The getting started, this is the lab portion that's completed. There's 2 numbers there. The getting started evaluation is completed. There's 2 numbers there. And then there is an amount out of 50, an amount out of 50. So this right here means it's completely done. And the grade is going to be on top of those 2 numbers. So this would be the student's grade. So once your labs are graded and you see it like that in your lab course, you have to complete the following steps. So you have to get, basically we need to get your lab grade into the course that it's actually due in. So you're going to go to the course where the lab is assigned. So that's going to be either 401 or 402. So in 401, it's getting started, and in 402, it's lab safety. So whichever one you have your grade for first, you're going to go to that. You're going to navigate to the current week. So right now we're in week 1. That's all you can see. And you'll see you're getting started score submission assignment. It's going to look like this. There's my mouse. Next week, in 402, you will see the lab safety score submission part, and that's where you'll enter that. Once you go and click on that, the assignment's going to open, and you're going to click Start Quiz. Next, the grade box will populate, and it'll look like this, and you'll enter the final grade you received on the lab. So if you were the person that I just used in the example before, that grade, that 80.23 or whatever they had at the top, that was final, that is what they would enter here. Hit Submit Quiz. Make sure that you get all the way to the end where you see your work has been saved and submitted. So that way it's fully submitted successfully. And that's with all assignments. So just a reminder of that. And then that turns that into your course instructors. So your course instructors right now are Missy and Carrie and Audrey and Danielle. So those are the instructors that are going to verify what you put in is actually accurate. So you have to also understand that there's going to be a turnaround time on that. So if you see your grade in Brightspace and you entered it on, you see your grade in the lab course on Brightspace, you enter it and you don't see it posted to your assignments yet, make sure you're just giving your instructor 24 to 48 hours to do that. And then you should see it posted to your grade in the actual course that it's due in your final overall grade for all of your assignments. And yeah, so if you have questions or need help regarding the labs, we have a lab email where all the messages are going to go to Amy, Heather, and myself. That is going to be the fastest and best way to get any of your lab questions answered. And you should expect someone to reach out to you within 24 hours of sending a message. So again, remember, we have almost 500 students that are using this. So just be patient. We will get back to you. One super huge plus of our program is we have live tutors that are available to help with labs every day from 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So there is the link there. It is in all of your courses, and I believe it's also in the lab course for you to connect. Keep in mind, it does take a couple minutes to connect sometimes, so just be patient. Also, they might be with another student, but just keep trying to connect. They help our students with labs all the time. I would say that they probably get about 70% of the students just needing help with labs. They can sit there with you and walk through parts of the lab with you. They can talk it through. You can just do it while I'm watching you. Watch is kind of sitting with you, and if you have questions along the way. If you haven't met any of the tutors yet, we have some really good experienced pharmacy technicians who are our live tutors. We have Mishi and we have Christopher. And then we also have some past Ross students, Courtney and Melissa. So those tutors have actually done all of the labs. So they have firsthand experience from themselves from doing them. So kind of fun that, you know, you can connect with them basically anytime you want during those hours. Have a quick tip, which I already kind of said. Don't wait until the last minute to start these labs. So like, yeah, the getting started and the lab safety, sure, you know, if you wait until the last minute, you can probably get those done quick. But once you start getting into the labs or you're compounding and you're doing all these things, it's going to take time and you don't want to put pressure on yourself. Also, once the week, you know, passes, so like this week, once the week passes, if you didn't complete your getting started lab, your grade is going to significantly plummet until that is put in the grade book. So you don't want to wait around and hope that you're going to pass because you're going to do the lab the night before the term ends. You want to work on it and get it done. That way you have time to answer your questions and everything gets put into the grade books correctly. All right, so that is where I am going to hand this off to our lab instructor, Heather. She's going to give us a brief tour of the 2 labs you will complete this term. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen so Heather can share hers if you're ready, Heather.
Yeah, I am.
Okay.
Right, let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna start from like the very beginning. When you enter in your lab course, this is what it's gonna roughly look like. Except if you haven't been able to get in here yet, you'll have to go to the expectations and policies tile, and you'll have to go into each one of these and complete them, and then you will be able to have access to the other 2 tiles will come up for you. So this prerequisite one is where your first 2 labs are going to be, and this is going to be the getting started one, and there are 2 separate links that you'll use. One, this is the lab, and then the evaluation. So since we're going to go into the lab first, I'm just going to click on it. Got to reshare my screen really quick. Okay. So this is what it's going to look like. I've already been in here before. That's why in the corner it says resume. But if it's your first time going in there, it's just going to say start. And this is what it's going to look like once you enter it. All the stuff on the left-hand side is like an overview of everything that the lab is going to offer. And it always starts at the top. And this is just the general first page. It gives you like an amount of time. Each one will be in like the learning objectives. You can just hit the next page and you'll see it goes to the next section, and there is the exploration. And then after you get through all these, you'll do the experimentation. You'll have to make sure you go through all these different pieces because they'll have information to do the experimentation. So this is an example of like one style of question that you guys are going to have. It's just like a little drop down menu when you click it. And when you read through it, it will tell you how to answer them. So you'll just click through them. And then once you finish doing them, you can just go to the next page. And then you'll see, since I didn't click all of the sections, like I left this one blank, that's why there's no check mark on the side. And when you complete everything, it will pop up with the check mark. This is another style question. It's like a drag and drop. I don't think there's really that many of these, but in this one there is. And then it's just you're arranging it and everything. So once you do that and you think you got it right, you'll just hit next page. And then this is another example where you're just picking which one you think is the right answer for the questions that they're asking. And so like you can just go through and you will be able to tell that they turn blue when you click on them. And then again, you just always click the next page and there's previous page button too. And then this just gives you some more general information. And you can hit next. And this goes more of like in depth about the different sections that you do for the labs. So like right now we're in the exploration and then the experimentation, and it tells you that you'll have the evaluation. Sometimes you will have videos on here as well, and you'll just be able to hit play and it'll play for you. We order the lab kits for you, so you don't really have to pay attention to purchasing your lab kit stuff. And you can just go over everything. It's unpacking your kit, and then they have the little video, and they student supplied materials. I'll show you when we get to the lab portion on what it really means by that. And then sometimes at the end of the page, you just have to make sure that you're not missing any questions, because this one has like a couple different questions it's going to ask. And then you can go to the next page. Okay, so this page, it will explain how to like print stuff if you wanted to, and or take a screenshot. I think this is kind of more confusing. So if you wanted to take a screenshot on your desktop, you can, in your little search bar, you can just type in like snipping tool and use that, and then save it to your laptop. That's like the easiest way to be able to upload the pictures that you need. Or if you want to just take a picture with your phone and send it to yourself through like an email, that's another way that you can get your pictures in. This one's just talking about just other resources that they have. They have the Science Interactive information on here as well, just in case for whatever reason you needed to get in contact with them. And there's also another question at the bottom. And then now you can see that we are in the experimentation portion. And it will always tell you like learning objectives in a rough like details on what you're going to be doing. And the first part, there's always going to be like the materials. So the stuff that's not, you're not going to use that are from the kit will be the student supplied. And if there's anything that you're going to be using out of your kit for like a future lab, it will list it like underneath the student supplied ones. Okay, so here's like our first official exercise that is in the lab, and it will always tell you the procedure, which is telling you what you're going to do. And this one is just where you're writing your name and date on a piece of paper and you're taking a picture of it so that you can upload it down here. And when you load it up, this is what it's going to look like. You're going to want to choose your file. You're going to click this button, and it also will tell you that the setting that you have to have your files in, it has to be in one of the bottom. So I'm just going to hit choose file, and then I'm going to find the file that I want to upload. And then you just hit open, and you'll see that the name will pop up. You always want to make sure that you hit upload, and then the picture will pop up. And when the picture pops up, that means like it has fully uploaded. Whenever I do that, I would suggest hitting save just as like a safety net after you upload a picture. If anybody ever has an issue with uploading pictures, you can just send us an email. We can help you out with it as well. And since for the second part, you guys can just ignore it because you guys don't order your lab kits. So the only picture you're going to need to upload is just the student name and date. And then the last part of the exercise is you're going to be recording different like data. So like this is a data table. You can just click on these and you can just type in them. You can just type and fill them out. And for the time in Fiji, you can just go on Google and type in like, oh, what's the time in Fiji, and just type it in here. And for the chemical equation, this part's a little tricky. So you'll want to click on the second symbol next to where you're supposed to type, because this will bring you to the format selection to be able to type the chemical formulas in. Because when you're in the chemical equations, the chemical equation for water is H2, and you can see how like the 2 is kind of like lower than the H and the O. That's what these are going to be for. So we're going to click on this. And what I do is I will click on the B and delete it and then type the 2. And then I'll use my arrow on my keyboard, the right arrow, to go to like the next space over to be able to type. So now that you can see that it's in the correct format. And then they'll have another question. And finally for this, there's just a couple questions at the end, and it's just the motivation for why basically you're taking the courses and program and stuff, and then do you feel confident? So these are just like typing answers. And once you're done, you will hit submit lesson. And then it will ask you, are you sure you want to submit it? You won't be able to reopen this assignment. And you just hit OK. And it automatically will close out of the page. I don't know why it does that, but that's just what it does. And it will bring you back to like this page. So now that I've done the first part of the lab, then you can do the evaluation. So it's the same thing, you just click on it. And then you'll hit start. And it's just, this one's set up different. It doesn't show you the different tabs on the side. It's more of like question by question. So you would just answer the questions. You can click at the bottom. There's a question menu, which will show you the questions, and it'll show you which one you're on, and you can click through them and it'll bring them up. And then like if I was at the last one, it's just a typing one. And then these ones are the same, where it would be you just submit assignment. But the evaluation ones are pretty straightforward. It's just normally multiple choice and just like typing questions. And you would hit submit and you'd hit OK, and it will, it's telling me like I didn't answer a couple of them. So it wants me to like go back, and you can click on them and it'll go back. So I'm just gonna click on what I think would be the answer, and will it allow me to? Okay. For these ones, it doesn't automatically close out. It will bring up like, oh, thank you. And you can just hit save and quit, and then it will exit out of it.
Awesome. So I just want to let everybody know that right now we know that no one can access lab safety. It's an issue with the software, the Science Interactive software. So we're working with our Science Interactive rep. I'm hoping that it's going to be fixed by tomorrow, maybe Thursday at the very latest. It is not due until next Tuesday, so you have time. As long as you're getting started done, that's due tonight, and there is homework due. There's no assignments due for you. I mean, you have those that you would have already done. But Heather's just going to quickly go through lab safety. It's another pretty quick lab. The getting started was just teaching you basically how to do the labs, how to work the system. So she is going to give a brief little overview of this. This is being recorded, so you should get a copy of it. But yes, we know right now that no one can get into the labs. So the lab safety, sorry. So yeah, I'll let her take over now.
Thanks. Okay, so now I went.
Hey, Amy, just real quick, because we have a couple people from the 5 class, they can get into lab safety.
Okay, cool.
I just want to make sure, because I know I have a few students in here that were working on lab safety and joined just to get some tips on that. So if you're in an older class, you can get into lab safety. It's just the newbies that can't.
Cool, thank you for that.
All right, I am in the lab safety now, and you can see it's a little different. Like this one will have 2 different test your knowledge sections, and they all generally look the same when you log into them. It starts with the exploration overview, and then again, there's the drop-down menu questions, and it's just matching each term with the best description. And these are just true or false, so you'd just be clicking if it's true or false, and then next page. And they have a video, and they always have like the little student help guides in it. And it just gives you some more information about like your lab kit, and it may contain chemicals and materials and just everything. As long as you're just reading through and making sure that there's either you answer the question that's at the bottom or double checking if there's a question at the bottom and answering them. And some of these will be, you can click on some things sometimes and it will like, this one just is like a little animated thing, but it will tell you like, if you've clicked on it, it will turn like a different color. And again, it's just like information for like your safety and like what kind of equipment you should be using and that kind of information. And remember, all the information that is in the exploration is going to be information you're going to need to complete the experimentation. So if you're in a question in the experimentation, you can always use this sidebar to go back and click to like reread things. Again, just some more proper attire and PPE, more information. And like these are like, you can click on them and it will give you information about them as well. So you want to make sure that you're checking to see if things are clickable, because you can tell when I hover over it, the mouse changes. And then you can just click on them and it'll give you the information that you need. Guidelines for home lab space. More like all these are just going to be information for like where you should be doing your labs and like safety protocols. Like this one, first aid eye wash station. And they have another question. So for this section, it looks really confusing and intimidating because there's like a lot of information on safety data sheets. And I will show you more when we get to the experimentation on how to go about what information you should be using off of these to fill out the questions in the experimentation. And I think the last couple sections in the exploration are just information regarding safety data sheet and just about like chemicals and everything like that. And what you should do for like fires, and they have a video. And remember just to check, see if there's questions at the bottom. So literally all these are just pretty much safety stuff. Cleaning in case of an emergency, they give you all this information. And experimentation, this has the materials list. Again, we're not going to be using anything out of the lab kits, so that's why there's nothing listed on here, just the student supplied materials. So for exercise 1, it is just a table, and you are going to describe what like the function is for each item on here and whether or not you can use a substitution for it. And again, if you need to go back to a previous page, you can just click on it and it will go to it. So you can go like back and forth between the pages. And this one has a couple more just like typing questions at the end, but you want to make sure that you're filling each section out. Okay, so for this one is like an interactive one where we can hit begin and you can click on each one of these numbers and it will pop up with the information like what is unsafe about the picture, what is a correct lab, record your answer below, which will be in this table. So this section up here is for the data table down here. And you'll just go like number 1 goes with the number 1. And then you can go to like number 2 and it will ask you questions. And you just fill out what the safety hazard is and what the correct procedure would be. And then there's just a few more typing questions. Okay, so for the safety data sheet, once you read over everything, you'll want to click on this. This will bring up the safety data sheet. Okay, so this is where a lot of students get really confused because there's so much information on these. And let me go back to the lab. Okay, so for the table, it's going to ask what the physical state is of the chemical that's on there, which is the sodium hydroxide. And it's going to ask you all of these, what basically is on the safety data sheet. And you're going to want to put the information that's on the sheet about each one of these items. So what the first aid procedure would be if like you got it on your hand or like on your skin and stuff like that. What I like to do is, let me go back to the safety data sheet, is on my keyboard, I'll hit Control F, and this will help you narrow down this kind of like narrow down the sections that you'll need. Like it will pop up a little like search bar and I'll type in, let's see. Let's see what I can find. It's not working for me. I think it's because I have so many tabs open. Okay, it was on the wrong one. Never mind. Okay, so I'm going to type in first and then it popped up first aid, and it will automatically bring you to the section that has those words in it. So now that I know first aid measures, and you'll put in the information that it says like after skin contact and after eye contact, and put in what the information says. You can just copy and paste it into the table. Okay, so just make sure we click this because that will bring up all the information. And after you fill out every section, there are another couple of typing answers. So for this question, describe 3 sources from SDS related to chemicals. This isn't asking like anything off the SDS sheet. It's a question more related to like where you can find SDS information. So it can be like the lab kit will have its own information, or like a specific website. And then let's see, okay, exercise 4 is the last one. And this one, you just need to read the safety agreement. And then you're just going to be initialing down here. And then again, you can just hit save and quit. And then it'll bring you back here. And then again, you can go back and do the evaluation. And then you always hit start. And again, it's going to be set up a little different. The questions menu will be down here. This one has a lot more questions compared to the first one. And you just go in and hit next after you answer them. And once you're done, you would just hit submit assignment again.
Sorry to interrupt you, Heather. I just
Yeah.
want to put emphasis on this of completing the evaluation and the experimentation. I know they said this, but students get hung up on that. They'll complete the experimentation portion and think that they're all done, and they'll submit and then wonder what happened. And it's usually because they haven't completed the evaluation portion. So I just wanted to
Yeah.
reiterate that really quickly.
Yes. And
Awesome.
I can show you guys the other section. This is where all your other labs are going to be, and each one has the evaluation link under each experiment. So I would just, right after you do an experiment, I would just do the evaluation right after, so you guys don't forget or anything.
Yes. Keep in mind when it comes to these labs that are listed here on the second part, you won't be able, so the lab safety that you can't do is just like a one-off glitch in the system. But you cannot do the other labs until we've ordered the lab kit for you. So basically, until we've ordered the lab kit, which we don't do until the end of week 3 and the beginning of week 4, you can't work ahead. But going forward, you can work ahead as much as you want. We'll still pull your grades, and you'll still put your grade in that you got, and when the course comes around. So working ahead is definitely encouraged. So one other thing before we have questions that I want to address that I thought about that I missed is in certain parts of the labs, it's going to say student supplied materials. So of course you have like a pen or a pencil and paper at your house, right? So that's fine, but there will be some items along the way that it will say that you need to have. So like I think parchment paper is a one in the compounding labs that will say student supplied. I just want to make it known that I do not want you to go out and purchase anything out of your own pocket for any student supply materials. Reach out to either myself or your other instructor as well. They can probably answer for you too if, on this, but there's always some substitutions. So, if it comes with, they want you mixing on a piece of wax paper and you don't have wax paper, you can use other stuff, right? We can find other things for you to mix on. I think one of the labs asks you to have cinnamon. We can give you some examples of something else that you could use if you don't have that at home. So by no means do not spend any additional money on anything that you don't have at your house. So instructors, did you guys want to add anything before we take questions from everyone? Any instructor? Missy, Carrie?
Maybe just reiterating that you can reach out to your lab instructors, and then they also brought up the tutor hotline. The tutor hotline is trained in your labs. So if you're getting stuck on a lab, Amy and Heather are only two people. They're helping out a lot of people. So we really encourage you to hop on that tutor hotline and ask any questions if you're getting stuck on something. They're available 7 days a week. So definitely take advantage of the tutor hotline.
Yes, definitely. Another thing too, again, don't wait for help. Don't wait to start, but also don't wait for help. Don't think that you're the only one that is confused by this or having questions. Everybody does. Everyone has. In fact, when we first got these, I was like, what? When I received the lab kit. That's a normal feeling. Don't, as much as you can, don't treat this as like a doom task, right? This can actually be really fun. There is basically a mini pharmacy in your lab kit. Also, you get some IV bags and needles to kind of play around with. And it can be really fun and a really good way to practice. You get a pill counting tray, you get placebo pills and things of that nature. So I'm always telling students, make sure you're saving that counting tray and some of those pills. Practice counting by fives. It's going to really impress your externship site that you can, do that efficiently. Try to, get faster at doing it at home. I know some people involve their kids in it. I mean, obviously keep in mind that we don't want them like ingesting anything in there. It's all fake stuff, but I know some people involve their kids and their kids play pharmacy with them when they're learning and doing their labs. So it should be a really fun thing. It's giving you a glimpse of what you're going to do as a pharmacy technician. So that's the fun part about going to school, is doing the hands-on stuff. So it's really going to help prepare you for your career and for externship. Deborah, did you have anything that you wanted to add before we take questions? No.
I'm not Deborah, but it's me again. I was just also going to say, you have all your instructors, your primary instructors, your lab instructors, but you also have your other students. You guys are going to be communicating with each other on your discussion board assignments. Make a friend, make a few friends. You are in an online program, so when you're stuck on something or you're frustrated, you're a lot of times feeling alone in those moments because you're going through this program by yourself at home. There are lots of other students that are going through the same things, just like Amy said, going through the same struggles. Find a friend, find a couple friends. You guys can collaborate. You can study together, hop on calls, feed off of each other, exchange numbers. Really try to get close with your classmates too as you move through the program. I think that will help.
I love that idea. That's great. And you might even find some people that are in your area too. So I love it. Yes. All right. So I see a lot of hands up. Let's go with, is it Zanaya or
It's Diana.
Ziana? Hi, Ziana.
Hi. Okay, so I had two questions. My
Okay.
one question was the lab safety. Is there going to be like an extended due date since it's like not working right now?
Yeah, we'll probably extend the due date out for it.
Okay.
We don't actually give any late penalties for any labs, which I didn't say it at all throughout the orientation here, but I will extend the due date out a little bit so it's not affecting your grade by not being in on Tuesday. So yeah, we can definitely do that.
Okay, and then my only other question was for the evaluation. If you don't do well, is there a way to redo them? Because you only get one attempt.
Heather, do you know that question?
Yeah, you just have to reach out to either me or Amy and we can unlock it for you, because for both the evaluation and the labs, you only get the one attempt. So once you submit something, you don't have access to get back in unless we unlock it for you to go back into like redo a question or anything like that.
Okay, I emailed that email that we're supposed to. I think I just need to wait. But that was all my questions. Thank you.
But Heather,
Yep.
it won't
Yeah.
open up the multiple choice for them, correct? It's only going to let them enter the free text.
For the evaluation.
Yeah.
That I would have to double check on. I haven't like unlocked something and then went back into the evaluation specifically.
Okay.
Because I know for the lab, I'm pretty sure when you unlock it, you can still go back and change those answers, but I'm not 100% sure for the evaluation.
Okay. Yeah, so if you have questions regarding that, like she said she reached out to the email. So if you need or want or think you need to get back into the lab, that is where you're going to want to reach out to. All right, let's see. Maya?
Hi, I was still confused about how to submit my, like, the final grade from the lab into Brightspace.
Did you check your lab grade in the course to see if it's all completed and fully graded yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so you'll want to do that. All of that is on this PowerPoint, which I'm going to share with everyone, so you'll have it for your records. It has like what to do. But what you're going to want to do is just go to that separate lab course and go to the grades. And as long as the lab and the evaluation have a grade, that means it's been graded by your instructor. And you can then enter that grade into 401. And I also have the directions in here that will show you how to do it. But if you need further help, either reach out to Heather or Amy or even Missy or Carrie. I think they should be able to help you with that. So just check on that. And if you have questions, let us know.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see. Shania? Crystal?
Sorry, it was taking a while.
Sorry, no, you're fine. Go ahead.
I just had a question about the equation. I missed that part. The chemical formulas. Is it like there's a specific way we have to put it on here, right?
Yes, let me bring it up one more time and I can show you. I know that part's kind of confusing too.
Okay. And we only have to turn in the paper, like our names and a date.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the only picture you need to upload for.
Amy, this is being recorded, correct? Is this going to be sent out to everybody afterwards?
Yeah, it actually, well, Deborah got off, but I hope it's being recorded.
Okay, I saw that it was being recorded and notes were being taken. So just for everybody else too, if you did miss something and you want to watch this back later, it sounds like they're planning on sending it out. So that'll be a good, this will be a good resource for reference. Save that email when it comes through or look out for it.
Yeah, you should get the fellow email, and then I'm also going to try to extract the video and post it in the courses for everyone that can't be on. But okay, I'm sorry. What was the question again? Did it get answered?
Oh, Heather was pulling it up. She was asking
Oh.
about the equation portion. I think with the part where you put in like H2O, is that what you were talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. I had to unlock my own lab because since I submitted it. Okay, so yeah. So when you scroll down, is anyone gonna delete from me?
You have Miss Rachel playing in the background. Sorry.
I can't get it to go back to the other view, but next to the text box, there'll be two little like things you can click on. You want to click on the little button that is to the most right, and it'll bring you up to this. And these are the different things that you can select to format the H2O portion. And since I know it's going to be that one, and it'll bring up what you click on, and you can just start typing. And then you can click where the B is and just backspace. And then I'll always hit the right arrow on the keyboard to bring it back up to the normal part where it will start typing. And you can see how it's like, now it's formatted instead of just like you writing H2O. Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Miss
All
Rachel's
right.
the queen.
Okay, let's see. Aaliyah?
Yes, I just got a question about the time Fiji, about that part.
Yeah, for that part, you can just go on Google and type in what is the time in Fiji, and it'll pop up with whatever time, and you can just copy and paste or type it in to the table.
Yes, I tried that, but it still like says it's wrong, and then I got locked out, so I have to have somebody unlock it for me to redo it.
So anything you have to type in, we have to manually go in and grade it. So when you submit it, it's going to look like it's wrong, but as long as you type something in there, it's going to show that until we go back in and do it. But if you want, I can unlock it for you, and you can go back in and type that portion out.
Okay, because I put a time on there, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yours is actually graded. I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, it is?
100% on that, so you did it.
Oh, okay, thank you. Well, that was the only question I had then.
Yeah, keep in mind too, you guys, the Getting Started lab is all about teaching you how to do the lab. So, I mean, the time in Fiji doesn't matter. Looking it up and putting it in is great, of course. But, you know, we're not going to know what time it is when we're
Right.
grading it. So you're going to still get credit for that, and same probably for the H2O part. When it comes to your
Yeah.
regular labs, no, when it comes to things like that, but I don't think any of them have you do that, but that part's not a big deal, so don't stress too much.
Okay, and I got one more. I just need like the unlock for the evaluation part. I had got an email for that, and I had tried it earlier, but I had to redo it.
I'll look at it and unlock it right now because I'm already looking at you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Crystal?
Yes. I have a quick question. So my submission form
Damn.
is still not graded, and I filled it out last week. I was wondering if it was because it didn't go through.
So we actually have to manually enter in. We have to go to the spreadsheet where
I
you
actually got 100% on that part.
the
Yeah, they said
spreadsheet.
all you had to do was look up the time for it. They said
The spreadsheet, oh, I lost track of what I was saying. What was ADHD? Um,
The spreadsheet for the addresses.
Oh, we have to go to a spreadsheet for where all your addresses are being compiled when you fill out that Google form, and we actually have to verify them one by one. So I know Heather was working on entering those in. We have to do that manually. So just be patient. We're working on those. If you still see nothing by next week, or if you really have a question, if we have your address, just send an email to the PHT Labs email, and we can check it out for you.
Okay, and then the second question was, oh, what was it? Goodness gracious. I can't think of it now. Pretty sure it'll come back to me later.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you.
I totally get it. ADHD is strong for me. All right. Let's see. Alyssa.
Hi, yes, I was just wondering if I was caught up on everything because it says like I have the request exception, but it looks like I already passed for like the last 2 classes. But I'm not 100% sure.
We can have Amy
I'm
or
looking.
Heather.
Yeah.
Okay, looking.
Thank you.
Aaliyah, right? Robertson?
No,
Your
Alyssa Knight.
No, before you. Your
Oh,
evaluation's unlocked.
oh, okay.
I was gonna send you a text, but since you're still here and I'm looking up Alyssa. I'll come back to you guys. You guys can keep moving.
All right. While we're waiting for her, Lexus.
Yes, I just wanted to make sure that I was all caught up on everything. Everything was submitted, and all grades are in for me, even though I did look at the grade scale for myself. I just wanted to make sure from all my instructors that everything was good to go.
Okay. We can have Amy and Heather look into it for you. Let's just take a list down here. All right. While we're looking into that, let's go Toya.
Hello.
Hi.
I actually had a few questions, but because of the fact that I'm doing this and I'm done at the hospital, I'm wanted to know if I could request a one-on-one with Heather lately, please.
Yeah.
Do I need to go into the Brightspace to schedule it, or how can I link it so we can do a screen share?
Honestly, if you ever want to set up an appointment with any of the lab instructors, you can always just send an email and reach out, and we'll set up a day and time, whatever works best with you guys is probably the easiest way to do that.
Okay, can you text me so we can set that up, please? I would really appreciate that.
Or Heather,
Yes.
I'm on my phone, so I don't have it with me. Do one of you want to drop the email for the lab, your guys' email, you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, in the chat?
Yeah, I can do
So
that.
everybody, if you want to save that, that is the contact that'll go to Heather and Amy, and then that way, whoever is available to help first or can schedule, that's a good way to reach out.
Perfect. All right, let's
I'm
see.
sorry to interrupt, but was I good to go or was you guys still looking at my thing?
I'm still looking for you.
Okay, sorry.
Toya, were those all your questions that you had?
Those were. I have a few things that I'm gonna want to look at or ask her to help me out with. So I would rather us just have like a separate one-on-one, so I'm not holding up the rest of the class.
Oh, perfect. That sounds good. Okay, let's go with Nakia.
Okay, yes. So I have almost kind of the same question as Alyssa. My lab getting started, like I did that first, and my second lab is graded, but that one is not. And it was weird because my second portion of the lab, which is the evaluation, I didn't even submit that. I saved it because I had a question about it, but it's graded. So I was confused. I wanted to make sure I know I answered the 11 questions for the get started. So I didn't know whether to wait for that to be graded, for me to put the grades into submission, or because it's like kind of confusing.
Yeah, we'll have to definitely check into it.
I'm already on her getting started, and she got a 4 out of 4 on the evaluation. It looks like it's complete, so.
Okay, because with the getting started is nothing there, so I didn't know, since they weren't both graded, am I supposed to just put only that one grade in there?
Maybe they didn't both come over to the grade book. I'll look at that. But they are both complete.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm writing down everybody that I'm taking note of everyone that we need to check into. It would take way too long for us to check into everybody's, to check their status one by one, but stay on and we'll get your information so we can check it for you. Let's see, Janita.
Yes, ma'am. So the only thing that's due tonight is the getting started.
For the labs, I believe there's a homework assignment in each class, right? Instructors.
Hold on, let me double check.
I think there is. My brain's.
I know I just did these announcements too, but now I have to go back and double check.
Yes, you did. But that's the only thing, like getting that Ross, that exercise 1 and 2, it won't turn green, right? And we can just submit it. Basically, that's what I'm saying. I did everything else, but this getting Ross, after I do everything else, you just submit it. It's just them 2 exercises won't pop green. That's basically what I'm asking.
Are you talking about the homework?
The homework was due last night, I believe.
Not the homework, on the getting started.
Oh,
in the lab.
Yeah, the lab. Will the exercise 1 and 2, the last 2 parts, will that turn green or it will not? We could just submit it.
Those, I don't think they'll have the it doesn't pop up with like the little green check mark, because I'm looking at mine and I have like, because some of them will have like a picture upload or stuff like that, and it can't, like, since those are things that we have to manually grade, it's not going to pop up with that like it does in all the other ones.
Okay, so I could have just been submitted.
Yeah, you can just
okay.
Yeah, you can just submit yours.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Let's go to Jessica Thompson.
Yes, I had a question about getting my evaluation unlocked.
Yeah, we can do that for you.
Okay.
All right. Heather's gonna work on that. Let's go to Kenneth.
I'm on the getting started for the lab. It's not letting me upload the images, and I see on the screen says PDF and it says JPG and PNG. I tried the document when I emailed the photos to myself from my phone, and then I saved them and I tried to convert it on ADP to a PDF, and it won't allow me.
If you want, you can just send it to the email that we put in the chat, and I can see what I can do with the picture, because every so often some student has like an issue with uploading them, and we can help you with it.
Okay, thank you. I'm about to send it now.
Okay, perfect.
Kenneth, are you able to do like a file save as? And then usually that opens up like the file window, and you can usually change the file type that way. I
Okay.
didn't know what
Do
program you
you
were trying to use.
which one do you think I should try first?
I mean, you can send them to Heather for now for this one. I don't know, Heather, how often do they have to upload pictures?
Honestly, it just depends on which lab they're
Lab.
doing. Like any of the labs that you have, like compounding, I know you have to submit pictures and stuff like that.
Kenneth, what program did you say you were using it in or trying to edit it in?
Adobe.
Adobe. Oh, so like when you just go to your picture and open it up, does it automatically open up in Adobe, or what does it open as?
Yeah, if I click on it and I try to send it to the saved image to Adobe, it'll go there, but it doesn't do what it regularly does. It allows me to typically like put it in the screen as if I'm about to edit the document, but this time it just sends me to the image and it allows you like basically to crop it. But that's not what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to save it so I could change what type of document it is.
Okay, we can hop on a call sometime if you want and go through it together and maybe figure that out. That way, when you run into the picture part in future labs, you won't have to struggle there.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Let's see. Rihanna.
Hello, yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so I am trying to finish the lab safety data sheet. I'm looking at whatever the little I click on the link. I'm trying to figure out what exact information are they asking for, because it is a lot of information on there. I don't know if she already said it or not, and I really cannot see like what exactly they want me to put in.
Yeah, so Heather did go over that, so that will be on the recording.
Okay.
But we'll take down your name, and I'll have Heather or Amy reach out to you tomorrow just to make sure that you got it.
Okay. And what is going to be an extension for that, since we having trouble accessing that?
For the lab safety, yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That was my only question.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Let's see who, Alyssa, did we get Alyssa Knight's looked at all?
Yes, I just sent her an email. Getting started in lab safety, you're good. You'll have emergency scenarios due tonight because you're in a
Okay.
different class. Yep.
The emergency scenarios, I'm actually almost done with that. Now the grade, is that also due tonight? Like
No.
the submission?
No, we'll know that you submitted it on time, but like we said, we don't add
okay.
any late penalties anyways. But as long as you have it in tonight, yep, you'll be good.
Okay, thank you so much. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank you, you too. All right. Shanice?
Hi, you said my name right. Usually people don't say it right. But I wanted to know that when we do I looked inside the lab kit and I see that you guys said that we should be like in a small place. I have a basement upstairs and then I got my living room. Like, should I just do it in a basement? I got a 9-year-old son. When I do like the actual mixing of chemicals and all that.
You'll probably want to be in a well ventilated area. Nothing that is in the lab kit I don't think is super hazardous. Obviously, we don't want any kids ingesting any of it or anything like that. But I would say as long as you're doing it in a well ventilated area, it shouldn't matter necessarily where you do it. Just make sure when you're done that you're, if you have kids, that you're putting up your lab kit so that they're not tempted to go in it or anything like that.
Right. And I wanted to know, when we do the actual mixing all the chemicals, Will we be in the video or will we just have to read it and
We will have live sessions and those will be recorded to go over how to do some of that stuff. All the directions are all in the lab. But we are going to be offering those. And then eventually we'll have videos for all the in the courses, but we'll be recording the lives and then you'll have that available. So and then also you can always meet with the tutors if you want help, or guidance while you're starting the labs and, or set up like a one-on-one with one of your instructors to do that as well. So.
okay.
And when you say the directions are in the lab, you do mean on the computer portion or within the lab kit?
I don't have a computer now, so
it's going to be within the lab itself.
Okay.
The directions.
Okay. Shanice, did you just say you don't have a computer?
I got one, but it's been broke since the second week of school. The screen went out. I don't know. I emailed people. I called. I don't even know what location I'm at. I called Davidson location. They said I'm not I don't go to that one. I called Miller Road. They told me that they will talk to somebody and contact me back. I just got an email from one of y'all. That's about as much information I got.
Okay, well, I'll reach out to your advisor and see if we can figure out what's going
They
on.
emailed me they mailed me a laptop, but don't nobody know where it's at. I thought they was going to mail it to my address, but they mailed it to a campus, and I don't know which campus it's at. That's why I called Davidson and Miller Road, but neither one of them act like they don't know what I'm talking about.
Okay, we'll definitely check into it, and we'll get that figured out. So yeah, I'll work on it first thing in the morning, and we'll try to get a solution for you on that.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I'm sorry to hop back in here, but when I went back to do finish my the one I was just doing, the emergency scenario, and I saved it and quit it, and now it says request exception. Can you guys unlock that so I can finish that?
Yeah, we can.
Thank you so much. I'm sorry to interrupt like that.
No problem.
Thank you. Bye.
So hands, I see Shania, do you still have questions? Did we get your question answered? I can't remember.
I raised my hand again. I heard everybody, well, a few people asking if they were like their grades, like if everything was graded or turned in, if there's anything that I need to be turned in. Like I know some of my work was saying that it wasn't turned in and it was still past due. I just wanted to make sure it was like, turned in and
Your regular coursework, not your labs?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can have Carrie Salon, so she can maybe check that for you later, or I can send Missy a message and she can check that out for you.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I got distracted for a second. What do you want me to look at?
Shania Shania Rollins is wondering if she has everything turned in for her
Okay,
regular.
as far as assignments.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, I can look into that.
Awesome. And then I think the last hand that I see is Crystal. Did you have another question or did we answer your question? I can't remember.
I actually remember what I had to say.
Okay, perfect.
I had started my not getting started, but my lab safety. And then I had saved it, quit and save to go back, and then it would not let me access it again. Now, my understandings we're not able to access it right now, but I was in there and almost completed, but I had to use the restroom and I came back and it reloaded. So I have to redo all of that again?
You shouldn't. No, it should stay. I don't know what happened. And what made that I do that because it shouldn't. Lab safety is part of the first two that don't require us to purchase you a lab kit for you to have access to. So it should save that information for you.
Okay.
You shouldn't have to redo it.
Okay. That's all.
I hope so, at least.
It's no
We'll cross all our
problem.
fingers that it does, but yeah, I think it should.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Have a good night.
Anyone else that's on the call have any questions? Kenneth?
I sent the email to the photos to the email. So once since I'm not able to upload them, do I just go on to the next section?
Yeah, you can just go on to the next section.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Anyone else?
Shania, I just looked at 401 and it looks like you have everything turned in there. And I am looking at, it looks like you're missing some things for 402. Have you been in your 402 class?
Yes, I think I'm in there right now, actually.
Okay, you've got your week check, week one check. You have to
Is
do
it
your
the
week
SIG
one.
code one?
Oh, like the title of the class?
Yeah.
Let me see what it's called. Looks like you need to do your week one discussion and your week one homework
Yeah,
for
I did
2.
that. I did all of that. That's what I was saying. Like it keeps all of this is saying overdue. But I did that. I think I actually did the discussion twice, or either the introduction or the discussion, because everything keeps saying that it's overdue.
Yeah, we actually, unfortunately, there's a glitch with Brightspace, and a lot of stuff is going to say that it's overdue when you've turned it in. It's not basing it on you in particular. It's just saying like the due date is passed. So don't take those into account. And I think Miss or Carrie maybe can send you the list of what is actually missing, so that way you can
Yes,
read that.
please.
Yeah, I'll send you an email. Is that okay? Or do you want me to send you a text message?
Whichever one is easier for
Okay.
you. It doesn't matter.
Okay. All right, I
Thank
will.
you.
Yep.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Well, of course, if you have any, oh, go ahead.
Since y'all checking grades and stuff, can y'all check them out? So,
You're talking, your regular course grades?
Yeah, Jenny, I will send you an email as well, and I'll look at yours.
okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other questions? Okay, well, if you have anything that comes up, of course, course related, you're gonna want to reach out to your regular instructors, Missy or Carrie. And then if you have any lab questions, reach out to that PHT labs@rosseducation.edu. You should expect to see a recording and a summary for this come to your email. Like I said, I am going to try to post it in the courses as well, along with the PowerPoint that goes with this. So thank you all for taking time out of your night to learn more about Science Interactive and all the fun that you're going to have with it throughout the program. So have a good night, everyone, and we'll talk soon.
Have a good night.